Welcome to the award-winning Texas Toast Podcast, your podcast home for all things Texas country. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best in Texas country. Big Texas Toast, cheers to everyone. And David Lewis is coming on the podcast right here, right now. You're here with me, David. It's so nice to have you.
And thank you for having me.
And I know that we had communicated it maybe a couple of times by email, and I've been following you since you started. And the reason why you're kind of special to me is because I'm a Sealy girl. I grew up in Sealy.
Oh, I did not know that. All
Yes, I
right.
grew up in Austin County, big time Austin County roots. I mean, they
Yeah.
they run to way, way, way back. So
Yeah.
that's another reason why you've always been kind of on my radar. And
Heck yeah.
kudos, you have put the work in, and you are so talented. So while we're talking
Thank
about
you.
Bellville, the first thing I want to start off with is Austin County Fair is my home county fair too. And
Yep.
you got to play our home county fair. Tell me what that experience was like for you
Yes.
being right there at home. I know growing up, we all went there and saw the stage and everybody that's performed on that stage. That
Yeah.
had to be so special for you.
It was very special. Yeah. I always love going back to my hometown and playing uh whatever venue it is. And getting to open up the show for Braxton too was just it was a blast. Oh my gosh. I'm still on cloud nine from it.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
then you got to bring a lot of the folks over to Mo's place. I actually snuck
Yeah.
over for it. Yeah, I didn't get to see you. I saw you in passing. I saw some of the show, and I was at your album release party. I got to visit with Hayden, with Trent,
Oh
and with
yeah.
Corliss, and we all were kind of hanging out. And so,
Yeah.
congratulations on that. And this album that we're going to segue into and we're going to talk about is amazing. So, tell me what it was like for that, the album release party for you, because I know you were busy. You were kind of shuffling around everywhere.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it was a very busy night, but it was one that we had been looking forward to for a long time. And it was cool being able to do it kind of in the area where me and my wife now live, in Katy here. And it was really cool to have just all the guests out to help support me and to be a part of the show. It was just a really cool night.
Yes. Well, what's cool is what you have put together. The album is Barstool Sermons, and it is out. It's been out for a little while. And there's a lot of people that co-wrote with you on there. I want to talk about Mr. Jake Bush, Jesse Robb Jr., Kyle Park is on there also, Jacob Boyd also. But it was interesting because I had already listened to your album and I had Jake on the podcast, and I was so, this is the timing with our Texas country family, okay? So I was listening to your album. I had just seen where Trent and Hayden and everybody was going to be at Mo's place. And I was like trying to figure out how I could get over there because I'm in Matagorda. So it takes an hour to get to 59 or get to
Oh yeah.
anywhere, get to a
Yeah.
major interstate.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking we're going to need to go to Mo's. So I'm interviewing Jake, and you got brought up, and he's like, well, I wrote a bunch of songs on that album. And I
Yeah,
was like, I'm going to go to the album release party, Jake Bush. So yeah, so
Yeah.
let's talk about first of all, Honky Tonk Heart is out to radio
Mhm.
right now, and of course you co-wrote that with Randall King, and he's on there with you. So tell me about that one.
So I actually didn't co-write that one.
Okay.
Randall wrote that as a co-write um, with another writer, and Randall pitched it to me
Okay.
earlier this year. And because he's never cut it, it's never made it to an album of his. So he pitched it to me. I love the song right off the bat. I was like, this is honky tonk as it gets. I'd love to cut it. And so sat on it for a few months, then reached out to him and said, hey, what are your feelings about cutting it with me, going in on this song together? And he was like, dude, I'm about it. So went in the studio and cut it, and it was a blast. That's one of my favorite songs to play live and on the album.
Yes, it's a great song, and it sounds great on the radio. I was so excited when that one came down to us for because I also have Texas Toast Internet Radio, so I have you in rotation there. And
Oh,
well,
awesome.
I'll get to live in the dream later on. I don't let me forget to talk to you about living the dream. Okay,
Okay.
so Kyle Park co-wrote with you on "Hang Up My Hat."
Yes.
Nice
Yep.
one. So tell me about that song
Yeah.
coming together.
Golly. So I started with a chorus that I come up with by myself. I think I was when I first started writing this, I was on a plane back from Pennsylvania. I just had a couple shows up there, and I just had this melody stuck in my head. Kept singing the melody, then on the plane wrote out the chorus. And it's just kind of a song about being on the road um, and settling down, hypothetically. Uh, and so then I got with Kyle. I showed him this song that I had started already. And he was like, dude, that's great. Let's finish it. And so we started writing together. And Kyle is just an amazing writer, amazing guy. Um, it was really cool. Really cool.
Absolutely.
Also, another one of my favorites on the album. It's hard to have favorites, but that one I like a lot.
That's a good one. And
Mhm.
let's see, let's move on to What I Couldn't See. Jake
Yeah.
Bush helped write on that one. Another great one. I want to talk about that one a little bit. So tell me about that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I first had the idea for that song on my dad's ranch. I worked for him cattle and fence and shredding and um, one day I was on the tractor and I was thinking about just how funny it is, like how I can see a white-tailed deer during hunting season or you know
Mhm.
fishing. I can see him up under the water, but I can't see certain things like my shoes in the house or little things uh like something in the fridge that I can't find. But then I brought the idea to Jake and I was like, what if we make it like a breakup song where it's like you couldn't see this thing coming, but you can see all these other things literally. So that was a fun one to write with Jake. We had a blast and we're going with more of a George Jones vibe with the song
Yes,
and
you can tell. You can tell.
yes,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's a great one.
I love how the thought on the tractor, and it's like now when I'm looking for fish, when I'm out fishing and fixing to look see where the baits work, and I'm gonna be thinking about that song. But I just love how you take the outdoors and brought it into that breakup song. That was
Yeah,
just that's epic right there.
thank you.
Uh, well, let's see, holding on, letting go, another good one.
Mhm.
Jake co-wrote on that one also.
Yes, yeah, yep. That one was the first one I wrote with Jake and Jesse, and that one it kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit. I'll tell you because a little bit different feel of song that I'm used to, and with those guys, it allowed me to go outside my comfort zone and a really cool song that came together.
And then you also what I liked is you put through a gospel song in Mercy Walked
Hmm.
In. I love
Yeah.
that. Love that. So why did you choose that particular gospel song?
Well, I think it applies a lot to my life. Just always, I could always use extra grace. Seriously. But that song, it really just spoke to my heart going into this album and the time and place that I was in. And I saw Gordon play on the piano, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful! I gotta do my own rendition of that." So put it on the album, and man, I love that song.
That's a great selection, great song. And I actually went back and I had to after when I heard it, then I went back and found him on with the Gaithers singing it. And it's so funny on this podcast, two times this week we've talked about the Gaithers, but anyway, good stuff there. Good choice on that one. And the one that I think is really the bonus track that you put on there, Point of Blue, that's something else. That's going to go down as a classic, I feel like. There's that song just grabs you and the way it's composed and the writing on it, it's just amazing.
Well, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that song. I unfortunately I didn't have my hand in writing that, but Jake Bush, Jesse Raub, and Jacob Boyd, they wrote that song. And when Jake first sent it to me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that song, I gotta have it, some one way or another." And so we talked a lot about it. Then I was in the studio that day when we finally came to an agreement where I could cut the song, and I was just the happiest man alive. So
Oh,
we'll see what the song does. I have high hopes for it.
you know, you're in such good company with all these writers that you're co-writing with on this. It's such good guys.
Absolutely,
And I want
absolutely.
to ask you now, okay, so ironically enough, when I was visiting with Hayden, he brought up Jacob. Is he from Bellville too?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
look at all of our little Austin County people doing great
I
things.
know.
That is
I
so
know. It's
amazing.
awesome. We got to represent, right?
I know. I guess I need to get Jacob on the podcast next.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, let's talk about Doom of Lachi. That's the
Hmm.
first cut on the album, y'all. That's how we get started. That is a cutie right there.
Yeah, that is a fun one. Ever since I heard Dale Singletary, which is one of my heroes, cut that song, Um, I I just thought it was always fun. I'd played it in the sets forever in our set list, and then finally considered it to be part of the album. And I was fortunate enough to meet Billy Lawson, the writer of the song, in Nashville. We
Oh,
were actually
cool.
he lives in Muscle Shoals, but we were there at the same time, and he had just seen a social media video of me playing Doomaflachi. And so we got together just on a whim and just talked in I think a parking lot somewhere in Nashville, and it was really cool, really cool. I eventually, after my Nashville trip, got to go to Muscle Shoals and write another song with him and check out his studio and stuff. And so me and Billy have started our relationship off that way. But it's really cool. And Daryl's someone who I treasure a lot and miss, and I think he was gone too soon. So it's cool to have one of his on the album.
So another good selection on there. So tell me about the process of selecting the songs because I know you write a lot. Obviously, you co-write a lot and you're around a
Hmm.
lot of writers. So did you have other things like in the catalog for this, or how did these 13 songs in particular end up on this album?
A lot of um, I mean, we sat on them for a while, and there were some in the vault that I've written years ago. Like me and Hayden, we wrote "Strangers Again," gosh, 3 4 years ago. Um, and like "Oh Walls," I wrote with Drake Milligan back
Oh
in
yeah, another good one.
23,
Yes, yes.
and so a few of these I've been sitting on for a long time and waiting for the right time to release them. So it was a lot of thinking and meditating and praying on it and just
Oh,
seeing what can be a part of the album, and pretty happy with how it turned out. And I have my team to thank for that. My manager's awesome and helping me just with business side everything, like getting the songs together and making sure my rights are um, I have them booked and we're staying active. So we're already working for the next one.
awesome. That's too cool. Wow. And so I
Absolutely.
noticed that on the credits, okay, looking at the names, you recorded at Rosewood.
I actually recorded at Stormy Cooper Media
Oh,
in
did you
Houston.
really?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I recorded at Stormy Cooper's, and Travis Bishop was my producer.
That's why I
And
saw Travis on there. That's what it was.
yes, yes. And he's been my producer ever since my three singles that I did back in 23. Um, and I love what he's done. And this album was just super cool, and how we got to really work together as part of the sound and the overall feel. And I'm just super happy with it.
Well, it's great. It is so good. It is so country, and I think your selections and your pick on everything. It all came together so good. And again, it's Barstool Sermons. So
Yeah.
good stuff. How did you come up with the name for the album? I like that Barstool Sermons.
Yeah. So I love that line and holding on, letting go. It's a line from that song, and I'm trying to remember. It's "Gone Whiskey" because the beer. Uh, I gotta remember the line. Um, oh shoot, "Gone Whiskey," cold beer ain't working. 12 steps won't help this hurt. Tried Sunday churching and Barstool sermons. Nothing can get me over the healing hurt. Um, and yeah, that Barstool sermons just stuck out to me actually since the beginning. And I thought it'd be really cool because we got a bunch of songs that are kind of breakup songs, so it can be, you
Yes.
know, kind of on a bar stool and saying, yeah, that this is where I went wrong and all this stuff happened. And also we got a gospel song on there too.
Right.
So it's just kind of I thought it was a perfect fit for the album.
Mhm. Well, great job on it. So after it was all said and done, what were your feelings? Because I know, going in and doing this album, and after it was all said and done, you got everything in the can. What
Mhm.
was your feeling?
I was nervous. I think I always get nervous right before
Really,
uh,
really.
yeah, I let it out. Just because so much time and effort, uh, and creativity goes into this. You want people to hear it, um, and you want people to like it too.
Mhm.
So it does always get me nervous, but um, this one was a little different. I was a little nervous, but I was overall, I'm just super excited to see where this takes us and what it can do for my career and my team.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. So how's it going on the road? And are you riding now? Like what's your schedule looking like right now as far as your tours and being out there?
Yeah, we've been very busy this year. Um, the next couple months are kind of slow, but that happens in the winter for us. But uh, this this year has been crazy. Randall going on the road and on tour with Randall King has just been a huge blessing. Just to be able to see how they do things, how their camp runs, and there's been so many learning opportunities for us as a team and as a camp and so many takeaways. So it's just, I feel like we've grown a lot this year, just being on the road and staying busy. But
Yes,
it's been a
you
blast. I can say that.
awesome. You do stay busy. And kind of going back to let's kind of go back to your beginnings in music. Who were some of your inspirations growing up as you were progressing into music?
Yeah. So my early inspirations were Merle Haggard, Alan Jackson, George Strait, Brooks and Dunn, Brad Paisley. Those guys at a very early age caught my ear and I loved since the beginning. Um, and over time, I've got top three artists who I love, and it's Merle Haggard, number one. He's always been my first love, and then Daryl Singletary and Brad Paisley is someone who I really looked up to, and I wanted to be just like him. You know, picking the guitar, singing,
Uh-huh.
songwriting. Yeah, so
Who was maybe an artist that you attended a show that first like kind of caught your attention when it came to
it was
music?
Brad Paisley.
It was
Yep,
Brad Paisley.
yep,
Yes. Look
yeah.
at
When I
you.
saw him,
Oh, love
yeah,
it. I love
I
it.
just yeah, I told myself I want to do that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. So
yeah.
how old were you when you started writing songs?
uh, Not good ones.
Everybody says that.
Probably, I think it was junior high. I started dabbling in writing some, and it wasn't until high school I got my first song. She Reminds Me of Home, which is on my first album. That was my first song that I ever really, truly wrote. And I was a sophomore in high school, and then started write all those other ones on my first album. I wrote in high school, so
Wow.
that's
Wow.
kind of when I started.
Wow. Now, high school, did you go to Faith Academy or did you go to Belleville High School?
I went to Belleville High School.
Okay. So you were a
Hmm.
Brahma. Oh, well,
Brahma.
you know about us Sealy Tigers and y'all Brahma Bulls.
I do all too well.
I know. Did it always make Austin County Fair time fun though?
Yeah, it made it interesting, that's for sure.
I mean, I don't know if it's changed, but like this is way back when I graduated, but when I was going to high school, fair was always during our game, Sealy versus Belleville.
Hmm. Yep,
And sometimes there would be fights and stuff.
I
Like
know.
I thought we were really good kids in the 80s, but sometimes I look back on it, it was like we were we were a little rowdy back then. I was kind of that always followed the rules and always was goal oriented and went to
Uh-huh.
church and participated in everything in school. And then sometimes I look back now, it's like, yeah, we really weren't all that good. We kind of made a mess every now and then. So that's just good times and good memories. You know what's funny though?
Yeah.
I can share this with you because you'll get it. As an adult, some of my
Hmm.
best friends right now that I have because of fishing in Matagorda, because I live in Matagorda now.
Hmm.
So I fish a lot and I fish with people from Austin County that I've already been friends with. But somebody will get on the boat and fish with the group, and then you all become friends, and then you start fishing together. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And so some of my best friends are from Belleville, and we were all in school together at the same time.
Huh.
It is insane. And it was like I had
Wow.
one friend in particular, and like when we first met, and I was giving him a hard time about Belleville and Sealy. And yeah, they're all like family to me. And we all were just had that rivalry, coming up. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
it's so funny. But good country, like my papa used to always call us our county. It's like now when we get back home from somewhere, he'd say, "We're back in God's country."
That's right. You're darn right
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk to you also about Ain't Gonna Change Me. I enjoyed that song so much. So we're kind of getting off the album, but tell me about that
Yeah.
one.
Oh gosh. I started writing that one I think a couple years ago. My same Nashville trip where I wrote with Drake Milligan. And I just started writing this song just kind of for fun and kind of as a joke. I mean, if you hear it in the first verse, it's kind of silly. And I wrote a first verse and a chorus, and I came home and I showed my wife. I was like, "Hey, listen to this song that I started though in Nashville." And I played it for her, and she was like, "Oh, you got to finish that song." And I was like, "All right, I guess I should." Because I thought it was too silly, and I hadn't done something like that yet, and finished the song and put it out, and I can't believe how well it did on social media and streaming, and I love it that
I
it's
do
that
too.
song too.
I do too. I love singing along with it, and I just love the whole meaning behind it. And you did a great job on that one. Now, Living the Dream, when it hit radio and came to me, I like had to email Dylan right away, and I said, I love this song, and I'm following along. And that I even told him, I said, because David's from where I'm from, and like this is so great because you kind of blended my two homes, Matagorda
Yeah.
and with the
Oh,
with
that's
the with the
perfect.
vibe on the song and
Yeah.
what you talk about. And it's so funny here because that's all we say to each other, LTD. When we have a good fishing day, it's LTD, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, so good job on
Yeah.
that one.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That you talk about another one that pushed me out of my comfort zone. It's that one right there because I hadn't done a beach song yet,
Uh-huh.
and the vibe is very it's different. It's more Buffett type vibe,
Yes.
and but it was a blast to make and to sing too. It's really cool. I'll tell you, this song, we were on the road with Randall and we were side stage. And uh, before we even went on, we heard people chanting Living the Dream for us to play it. And it wasn't in the set that night. And we were like, okay, we got to put it in. And just hearing the crowd sing along was just unbelievable. It was really cool. And it was during the summertime. It was down there in Florida, actually, Pensacola, Florida, which is funny because that's where the coordinates are, too, in the song, Key West. And yeah, just a really cool moment in my career.
Wow, David. It sounds like it just everything has come together for you so good. And I will be in your corner. I'll be following every song, every album. You'll be back on the podcast, I'm sure. We won't have to wait so long. But
I would love to do that.
congratulations on an amazing album. Thank you for such good music, and thank you for, just for your integrity and the hard work that you put in the industry.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a long time coming. I've been watching y'all's stuff, and I love
Oh,
what y'all are doing. So,
okay. All right. Well,
yes,
thank
ma'am.
you so much, David, and we'll be keeping up.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us for this episode of the Texas Toast Podcast. And now, big news. If you're a lover of Texas country red dirt music, you can now go listen to our station, Texas Toast Radio. Log on to texastoastradio.com to hear a mix of all your Texas country favorites.